Hello, Miss Mehud. Just wanted to post this video to show my revelations and discoveries I've found throughout the midterm or in the midterm. And the questions that I really thought that stick out to me, the first is number two, is discussing the pitfalls of using scripture to make ethical decisions. I feel like currently Christians that don't read scripture and don't understand the historical and take account for the societal part of that we're in written, that we use very much little context to prove our point more and to really drive in what we would think is our intentions. Um, Examples really of this, is that we try to justify scripture, that talking about slavery. I remember one time, someone used the derogatory term for an African American at me, and I remember the parents got involved and they had a talk, and they talked about how in the Bible they were slaves. Well, I don't. Good thing I was there, because I would have really thought about how in scripture there's no correlation, but they were using scripture to justify their son's actions and try to not get him in trouble, or think that the blame could be pointed at in a God direction, or make it seem better. And I find that really confusing, and I feel like that could be, for a lot of new Christians, that type of stuff could be confusing in a sense. So that was really the stuff that made me think for question two. And the next topic that I thought I could do was number four, is the connection between the exploring the Christian ethics and the two books. Is that I really liked how in the ethics book it talks about how we are not meant to conquer, to consume and exploit the earth. This earth is really, that we're meant to be caretakers, and that we are taking care of God's creation. We are very much like a flock, or not like a flock, but we're like a shepherd, and the earth is the flock, that we must take care of it. And I really saw that connection between those books, and really made me think how important it is to have environmental stewardship in a church, in your daily life. That we are supposed to be modeled lords over the earth, and that we are supposed to be modeled after Jesus Christ. And I really thought that should really drive home the point of what Christianity should be and what it is now. I feel like that we don't really go over the topic of any of that type of stuff in Christianity, or with the lens of Christianity towards others, what others see about Christianity. The first thing is they do not think about uh, environmental stewardship. And the next one, chose number five. I felt like it was one of my favorite ones. I did really enjoy Dr. Bruce's speech on man-made environmental threats. It really put an eye to what I thought was, meant when I first wanted to talk about was the dams. They're up in the southeast of America. I really thought, in the beginning, I really thought they were doing good, and they're only doing good, and that's, clean energy that we use, and it helps us, and, it's safe for the environment. Um, but after listening to that speech, it really turned my direction towards the wildlife that is involved with those rivers, and those rivers that are so crucial to the water, and just how you need a clear path. um, and really interest me. So individually, I had to really think about individually how I would be able to help. Um, what I would think of help would be, for me to either donate or sign petitions for preserving wildlife up in those areas. And corporately, I would just want to think, how could we as a society make a river, try to keep intact the river, but also use that clean, reusable resource that, is going to be crucial to us. Because I really thought about it, and like the way how you do the options is very interesting. How do you justify having clean energy to save the world and make sure we don't use those CO2 emissions for making energy that really help the earth as a whole, or destroy a ecosystem that is a part of the world, and and that involves a lot of really justifying and thinking about it, really. And it really made me think when Dr. Bruce really first talked about it. And another one, I know you asked for, but another one that I really found interesting was the oil fields, how not they just burn natural gas for nothing, just because it's cheaper way, and that it's just too hard to tap into that natural gas. Even though we all use natural gas is an important part of society, that it's too much money to help everyone, and just try to use that, and try to utilize that, instead of just letting it go by the wayside. And even though oil, drilling for oil is really not the best move, first of all, but we're not using it up to its resources. We're not sponging everything up where everything is going to waste. And I find that very, very wrong. Individually, I don't, it's very hard. Like, I guess, I don't live in my own, but thinking about it, I would really want to try to get, try to push the production of electric cars, I feel like. And I feel like that could really help in trying to not make oil, a big of a company as it is, to where we can sort of try to slow down, and try to lower CO2 emissions. And that's it. Thank you for teaching me. Thank you for shedding light on the things that I've had questions about, and made me really reflective on my religion about. And I thank you for that. And let's hope for the next couple weeks is a good one. Thank you, Mr. Mickey.